Let's go there.
I don't know if we're going yet or not. The wheel is spinning. The wheel is spinning.
I have not received any sort of notification that the 100 that we're on YouTube.
I just got it. It popped up on my thing.
Oof.
I'm going to send out some shares.
Well,
It's
there
going
you
to take me a couple minutes.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. If anybody is listening out there, we are getting ready
Here we
to
go.
record our 100th episode. And I forgot to mute the YouTube. And I'm hearing...
That is what I need to do as well.
All right.
Here we go.
And I copied the link. And now I want to go to Facebook. I'm popping.
Why are we talking about your age live on air?
Hey, there's Bill.
My age?
Yeah, I heard 100.
You're an asshole. All right, I shot out the link to the...
Got it.
I sent that out to everybody. I'm going to ask everybody else to share it up. I am me, Mike, and everyone else, and we're going to start the show. So.
Wrong thing.
And here we go. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, you may not be the shitty person that you think you are. Zodiac shift may change your sign. Playing cashier at Walmart's self-checkout stand may land you in the pokey. And you may want to stay away from sleepy chicken and any other recipe you find on TikTok. All this, more news, just the tips, Stanley's Pumpkin Spice Pump Up, and a look in the rearview mirror as the Infection Team celebrates 100 consecutive episodes on this, the 100th episode of the Media Virus Podcast. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us. With executive producer, Mike Latoris. We'll do an intro, we'll do an outro, and then do our wrap. BBC correspondent, Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
And the Scorpion Goddess.
I'm a Scorpio with secretive. I just don't say a lot of shit.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
I had no, but I was, I kind of wanted to, and whoa.
That's new. Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Maddie Rockdeath. Welcome to the 100th episode of the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. It is really amazing that we are closing in on 2 years of doing this show, rain or shine, through hospital stays, through vacations, suspicious family deaths. This show has endured. It has been a platform for our views, our interests, and our favorite people. But what I think this makes this show different than others is the diversity of views among the panel and the invitation to share them. We all have different backgrounds, different socioeconomic status, different education levels, but we come together once a week to make fun of the news and try to make each other laugh and hopefully make someone else laugh along the way. And at the start of this thing, I made everyone a promise because they knew me and they knew my sense of humor that we were going to do a show that everyone can be proud of. And if your source of pride is downloads and followers, then honestly, I haven't held up my end of the bargain. However, if you find pride in character and content and culture, well, I think I have a better leg to stand on. And my pride, where my pride comes from, is calling you all my friends, and and comes from calling this our show, and from the tenacity and perseverance that we've displayed in 100 episodes. And this isn't the end of it. This is just the beginning. This is we've had 100 practices, and we might have 100 more before we actually get good at at this thing that we've decided to try to do. But we're trying, and and speaking of, and we're doing it together. That's the important part. And speaking of being together, let me introduce the rest of the crew. First and foremost, the person who has sat with me with the entire 100 is, the Reverend and Professor Mike Latource. How are you today, Mike?
Good evening. Doing pretty good. I think my source of pride is the production value. I try to keep it high. So there's that.
I didn't mean to discount that. I was, kind of making excuses for myself. I was like deflecting responsibility from what I was supposed to be doing, and and just kind of like pointing out that we really haven't pumped a whole lot of, we've gotten things set up, but we haven't really pushed much in as far as promotions and things like that, because we're still getting our feet wet. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out. And the production value is something, that's that one leg that we have to, that's how we call ourselves a podcast. I mean, without the production value, we couldn't call, this is a Zoom call.
Yep.
With assholes. I mean, if we didn't put a little bit of thought into it, I mean, this is an audio presentation, and, the audio production is what we take pride in, but I take a little bit of pride in our visuals. It's not a visual show. We're not here to put on, that type of thing, but we sometimes forget that and do it anyway. Forgetting something I had lined up. But our, let's see who's actually here, our metaphysical correspondent, our metaphysical fitness expert, the Scorpion Goddess. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. This is 100th episode. Finally.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Joining us today is the mind shifter, Mr. Marshall Manlove, a generous benefactor to the show in more ways than one. But he is a
well, yeah. You have all my cast. You stole
Yes.
all my cast in my old show. So yes, I definitely have contributed in that way.
Absolutely. Now, if you have fans watching, they might ask, "What old show are you talking about?" I didn't want to.
We can bring Foulmouth Al on next.
I've considered it. But that would definitely be a surprise for him, because I would have you and Pete both here. I wouldn't bring Foulmouth Al unless I had you and Pete here.
Right, that's the thing. And I mean, it's not like I showed up and just took everybody. It was, there was there was a natural end to what we were doing. And then there were people who didn't want that to end, and I said, "Hey guys," I mean, that's actually, I wanted to kind of get into that, because, the idea of me hosting a show is ridiculous. I'm a producer. If you look at anything else I've done, the Rise of the Tigers movie, the Rise of the Tigers, web show, the Death Rock PA. The Friday, the Rock Def Radio. I was a producer. I hosted a radio show where I would just say 3-second blurbs or talk for a couple of minutes, and then, my show relied on tunes. I'm a babbling moron, and I can barely get a coherent thought out of my head. But it was just, I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I mean, because there was a producer who actually did a much better job than I did at producing. So, let's.
Like, the idea here is, like, you and I get shit rolling, and then we start, see if Wednesdays work out. Wednesdays at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, if we were getting together to do something, I'd want to do it earlier.
Sure.
But I mean, I got to pick up my wife. My wife eat dinner. I want to, pour myself a bunch of gin into an Arby's cup.
Lost your audio, Matt.
I did. Were you playing clips?
When we lost your audio, I
was so
jumped in with a clip.
confused. I was
Your
like,
mouth
what
was
the hell
moving.
is going on? I'm sitting here like, why is nobody else like, what's happening? I thought it was my phone that was tripping out just now. What the hell? Mike's over here fucking with me.
Your mouth was moving to different words.
Right. So, I mean, I had to do a lot of convincing, especially with the character that I portrayed myself as on, this particular project. I kind of went in and I always went low and always went dark and always went. And it was, it was a challenge to get people to want to work with me and do something that was going to be, a little bit more out there. So the, it was all very organic, and except for the fact that we just needed somebody to step up and actually claim the host, and that was what I did. And then we named it the Media Virus because that's the name I had, and it was the YouTube channel that I've had for a really long time. I mean, it was like, we wanted to do something. It was just what, and then, well, we'll figure it out as we go. And that's kind of, this is the 100th attempt at us figuring out as we go. But Big Daddy's with us, and staff writer Bill, another OG. We did mention staff writer Bill on episode 1 of the Media Virus podcast, which I think you can only hear on YouTube. We do not have episode 1, the original, the first episode, on Spotify, because I was using a piece of equipment that was really bad. It wasn't bad. It was the battery was going dead. And also in the video, but the video is funny because I had just kind of stapled the green screen up behind me in the attic, and it started to fall as I was, and then I had my camera rigged up in a certain way that I thought was really cool, and it started to fall. So everything was falling, and I'm trying to just keep my shit together as it was falling. And that was the first episode of the Media Virus podcast. And Mike decided that it was a good idea to keep going. So it's all his fault. But now that everybody is here,
I give a shout out to our sponsor, Five Below.
Yeah.
I'm just chopped liver.
What's that?
I was gonna say we didn't introduce Pete. We're just gonna skip him. You don't matter tonight. It's fine.
Right.
There's fucking
it's
7
like-
people. We've been on the air for 20 minutes now. I'm sorry, Pete.
He's gonna give you a hard time all night.
I do apologize. I lost count. Here's Pete. What do you got to say, Pete?
If only you mattered enough for him to introduce you originally.
Well, I've only been part of this thing for, I don't know, a couple months now, ish. Not even a month. So no, I'm happy to be back together with all you guys, all you crazy morons, and some new morons. But
Now, see, there's an interesting, I don't think we ever invited Pete on the show, but I don't think we ever assumed Pete wanted to be on the show.
He just kept reappearing after that one time
that's
he was invited on.
Oh, but Pete was held hostage at the last show, at the last thing we did. Pete was kind of he just kind of a captive person that we put a mic in front of.
He couldn't watch reality TV until we were done.
That's
And
right.
The best entertainment that he had available was to help power us through our show.
Yep.
And,
Usually just trying to aggravate you guys along the way with various shenanigans, if you will.
like bringing home tacos every time we recorded.
Tacos, chips. Yeah, this week I'm failing. All I have are
Well, I don't want, this
pistachios.
isn't. We're not waxing nostalgic about other projects. We're waxing nostalgic about this project.
No, this project you guys asked, or you guys said, "Hey, what are you doing, Pete, Wednesday nights?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to be doing very much for a while."
No, yeah,
So,
we had a because Pete had a flourishing social life with his scoliosis before he had surgery. His dance card was full. He didn't have anything else to do. I mean, he had so much else to do before this, but Take us somewhere, Mike. Where are we going?
Well, I would like to let everybody know we do have a full show planned. I've got the top 3, which is just kind of what we usually do. We'll take you through that. And then we've got clips in the B block. We've got clips from the first meeting that Maddie and I had about the show. We're going to have an episode of Just the Tips, some montage of some key moments throughout the run of the show. And then Pumpkin Spice Stanley is going to regale us with his review of another pumpkin spice item for the year. And then in our C block, because I've been promised
Stafford or Bill Spectacular.
I have promised Bill that he can have the entire C block with his shitty list that's supposed to feature puppets. I'm very excited.
Well, there's the shitty list, and there's a separate puppet show, from what I understand, right?
Well, the puppets are lightly involved, but the puppets are kind of like their own thing.
Okay.
All right. The Mind Shifter has a question for the group.
Yeah. Kind of a question because I have a little bit of an issue. What do you need out of me? Because my dog's got to poop.
Well, we could go live on location.
She's got to poop hard.
You can take your dog out while if you want to, if you got to let your.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
I
Throwing a nice little weather update in the middle.
Yeah, you take your phone out with you, and
I'm not on a phone, man. I actually have like a computer,
you're sitting in a
whole
studio
big setup here, double monitors, and all.
Cool, that's awesome. And now your dog's got to take a shit, so I don't know what you want me.
I just don't want her to take it here in the studio.
I wouldn't want that either, man.
We wanted to recognize you, involve you, and give you the opportunity to participate. If you need to excuse yourself to relieve your dog, that's fine.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate you on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
And keep making more. Just make better ones, okay?
Okay.
We're trying, man.
We're going to do another spectacular for 104.
Oh, yeah. We're going to celebrate 2 years.
2 years.
That's right.
104. Yeah. Yeah, just finding our groove and show 104. Yeah. No, that's good. It's all fun, man. You're all good people. I don't know Bill or the young lady there, but are you young? I don't know.
Well, you know,
Mike was complaining about your makeup, so I don't know if you're young or old.
We met her because the doc was what used to be her teacher. So that's.
Is that Matt?
I said we met her because the doc used to be her teacher.
Okay, so she's young then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you need, listen, I really appreciate you showing up. We kind of tried to, we thought you'd just kind of want to jump in and kind of hang out. But if you got to let your dog shit, then by all means.
You got a walker. That's the problem.
I hear you, man.
Fence yard here.
Yeah.
I actually got to go out there and pick it up and bring it back in.
Hot dog shit talk on the Media Virus podcast. Do us a favor, Marsh. When you're done, give us a call back and let us know the length and consistency.
I can show it to you.
I want to know the mass of the pile. Color? Do we need to know the color?
Where am I? I can bring it back in and show it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, no, that would be terrific. Put it in a bag.
Where it has to go. I don't barehanded.
Right. Put it in a bag. What? And then this is what I also want. Okay, so if you're gonna bring it in the house, get a bucket of water, and we're gonna do the displacement test. So we're gonna know the mass, the width, the length, the color, the consistency, and displacement of your dog's shit.
Right, this does remind me.
What's that?
This does remind me of something I was thinking about. Because I don't know about you, but I have like 4 jobs, and I have attention deficit disorder for sure. Because there's so many things to do. There's so many interesting things. And I was wondering if it's possible to ever create something new anymore, right? Because there's so many things, but you're so distracted all the time. Like you don't have time to sit and just focus on one thing because there's so many things going on, and there's so many things going on in your life, and you have to pay bills, and you have to walk the dog and take care of kids and all that kind of stuff. There was a point in time, though, when people had plenty of time to invent stuff. They had to invent stuff because there was nothing, right? There was absolutely nothing. So I was thinking about the days of the Neanderthals, when they were just kind of sitting around with nothing to do. They're sitting on a rock, which acted as their bed also, right? And there was so little of things to do that I could just imagine them sitting around and staring at their own pile of shit and experimenting with it, because there was absolutely nothing else to do, right? And eventually creating fertilizer out of it, because you had nothing to do except you had nothing but time to focus on that pile of crap. And of course, like, hunt your food, right? But after you got done eating and then you pooped it out, all you could do after dinner, you couldn't watch TV, couldn't read a book. You just had to stare at your own pile of shit and figure out what to do with it.
And from there we got cave drawings and fertilizer and
Exactly, fertilizer, right? That's
I think I'd rather fuck.
At this point, I'm just hoping the dog shits on your carpet. Keep talking. Let the dog shit on your carpet.
she wants to play now.
You interrupted my show because the dog had a shit.
All right,
And we talked about your dog taking a shit for 20 minutes.
I might come back. All
If
right?
you come, seriously, a bucket of water and a bag of dog shit.
I might come back. I'm going to leave now, but I might come back. If I come back, it is going to be with the aforementioned bag of dog poop,
all righty.
All right.
just to prove that I'm not just leaving to go do something frivolous.
Well, we hope everything comes out okay.
Sure will. She doesn't have a problem there. She's very regular. All right. Good to see you all. Maybe I'll be
Thanks
back.
for coming by.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Where martial
In my
arts.
heart of hearts, I hope he decides to shit in a bag and just present it to the group.
No, please, no.
My mother, I was over at my mother's house last night, and my mother at this point refuses to watch my show because it's so vulgar and I curse so much.
Can't imagine why.
And I'm trying to no, mind. We don't curse that much, and it's not that we just spent 10 minutes on.
We don't. You, on the other hand.
Well, not for nothing, but it's the woman who taught me how to curse. I mean, every curse word I know, I learned from her. All
Seems
right.
kind of hypocritical if you ask me.
It really.
But fuck if I know.
What was the
Juliet.
first? What was the first story in the top?
I pulled this story out for Juliet. What's your zodiac sign? It may not be what you think it is.
Oh my god, is this the Osho, whatever fucking bullshit surfacing again?
Whether you believe astrology is merely a holdover from the less enlightened times before our understanding of the cosmos burgeoned, or you believe that the position of the stars and planets actually hold influence over our day-to-day lives and can even determine our character, there is no denying the influence astrology has had in our society. At the heart of the astrology is the zodiac, a belt-shaped region in the sky extending approximately 8 degrees north or south from the apparent path of the sun through the sky, and its 12 astrological signs. Though astrology seems determined by the movement of Earth through space and the positions of astronomical objects in the sky, astronomy and astrology are extremely different disciplines. I don't think I need to go too far into what a zodiac sign is, but essentially what this article talks about is the wobble of the Earth. The cause of the shifting of the zodiac signs is precession, and a slight wobble Earth experiences as it orbits the sun. The gravity of the moon and sun, and to the lesser extent the planets, acts on Earth's equatorial bulge, caused by the planet's rotation, to shift its axis of rotation. Known as precession, this wobble has a 25,800 year cycle.
This wobble has a 25,800 year cycle.
What was that about a bulge?
Well, these are immeasurable like terms. Like a 28,000 year cycle. A 28,000 year cycle?
25,000.
25,008. So 26,000.
25,800 year cycle. Like that's like who met. Here's the point. How long's astrology been around? I think it's been around a little bit longer, like around the same amount of time. Like the wobble's been wobbling.
Astrology's been around. It's been around for a few thousand.
I mean, wobble's gonna wobble. You know what I mean? The Earth is not a perfect sphere. Holy shit! Now, the Earth.
You know what? It's like a big booty. The wobble's going wobble.
The wobble's going wobble. Just like a big boot.
So over the past 2,500 years, the intersection of the celestial equator and the elliptic has drifted west along the elliptic by 36 degrees, or about 1/10 of its length. Precession has also had the effect of shifting the equinoxes of Earth, the 2 points of the year in which the day and night have equal lengths. Basically, it makes Capricorn shift from January 20th to February 16th as where it sits. Let's see, how's this? Yeah, that's where they say it sits now versus where it should be at December 23rd and January 21st. So
all right, so everybody's different now.
Yeah,
good luck, people.
Looks like a shift of about a month or so. How do you feel about this, Juliet?
Astronomy and astrology are completely different. As an
True.
astrologer, I disagree. And this is the first I'm actually hearing about this. I thought it was going to be Ocho think whatever. I can't pronounce it. I thought it was that thing resurfacing again.
No, this is basically that when they came up with all of the principles that are used in astrology, the dates fell here, just by looking up, but that has actually shifted it as far as
the stars have moved.
Everything else.
They change, so they do change every few years, because the sun doesn't follow like, oh, it's this exact date. So we follow what the sun is doing for the star signs. It changes every about 30 days, and then the moon changes about every 2.5 days, Mars, so on, 3 months, yada yada yada, keep going. So the dates can change, but it's only about 1 day difference. So this, I don't really have any information because I haven't looked into it.
The concept is essentially everything shifts over the past 2,500 years. Everything has shifted about a month, but astrology has not followed that.
No, I mean, when I look at current charts right now, I'm looking at what is happening when I pull the charts. I'm not looking at whatever this information is of like a whole month's difference.
Right. No, I think this would speak more to a natal chart. Like if you were doing somebody's natal chart based on they were born today.
It would still be current right now. That doesn't matter. I get what you're saying, but that doesn't matter because if I pulled a natal chart, it would be currently right now. And like currently right now, we are in Libra season. Mercury is in Virgo. Mars is in Gemini, heading into retrograde. Pluto is heading direct in Capricorn. Like all of these are still the same as they were if I did the chart casting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
But with the shift, somebody born today would be a Virgo.
No.
Rather than a Libra.
They would be a Virgo if you were doing Vedic astrology because they follow constellations. But in Western astrology, we follow based on the equinox and the season. So it's a little bit different. So the thing that you're pulling up could possibly be based off of Vedic astrology, which is different from what I do. So that could be what that is.
Okay. I didn't know there was two different kinds.
There's more.
I know. Well, holy shit. There's 4 different types of... that gets confusing after a while. That's a lot of witchcraft.
And that's why I thought this would be an interesting article to talk about. I'll send it to you. I'll make sure that you get a link.
Send it.
Speaking of my mother, speaking of my mother, and I mention her, I reference her often, and she did have a business reading astrology cards, doing charts and stuff like that. I asked her to watch your latest, whatever it was. It wasn't the most recent video you've put out, but it was the most recent video when I was over at the time when I did this. And
was it a tarot or an astrology?
I think it was a tarot. It was
Okay.
a tarot. Because she did reference, she liked the way you read. She liked the way you interpreted the cards. She would have used different words. Like she called something a worry card. It's a worry card. This is a worry card. And then she used the word your stress or, you know, it's that type of thing. But she's like, I like the way she read the cards. I like the way she gave the information. And I subscribed her to your YouTube channel on her Roku.
Oh, thank you.
So she gets.
So I said thanks too for checking me out and
yeah, I mean, she gave it a shot.
I always like to
even though you're associated with me, she was since you were an astrologer. But she did say, and she went like this. She goes, and she's a witch too. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, the way she read the cards, the things she referenced, you know, just she's a witch. And I was like, I don't fucking know what she is. I think she's Methodist.
I am.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I was talking to somebody today, and
I said, I think she's Methodist. It's the worst.
I was baptized as an Irish Methodist, actually.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
funny.
So
Yep.
I was talking to somebody today, and they said, you know, you ought to be careful with who you associate yourself with, because they find out you're associating on that podcast with that pagan astrology person. They might not want to be involved with you in other projects. And I said, oh.
I get that a lot.
What, like you, motherfucker?
Really? Because if you haven't met Matt, I mean, you know.
It sounds like
saying.
the same guy that says that warns you about associating with that black guy because you don't want to be
That's what
Well, that was my next question. Should I watch out for the blacks and the Jews too?
Can you just send me their name?
No.
Just for funsies.
We're not out.
Sure.
That's terrific, though. I kind of love that.
Yeah. So I got to watch talking to you. People might not want to associate themselves with me anymore doing other projects.
You know what's weird is I
have that effect on people.
I answered the phone at my job today, and as I often do, and they're looking to do business with somebody. They might need to do business with us, and I was like, okay, well, the gentleman who's going to give you a call is he's observing the holiday, and he'll call you back tomorrow. And he goes, holiday? What holiday? It was a southern accent. And I was like, it's Yom Kippur or Yom Kippur. I'm not really sure the
Yom
best way
Kippur.
Right, but I don't want to look like I'm trying to say it I don't know. I'm just trying to say it like a normal person would say it.
Right, Yom Kippur.
And he just goes like, this is the response I got. I was a Yom Kippur. And he's like, oh. All right. And that was it.
And
so those people are out there.
Edith, you know he made up some holiday because that guy wouldn't get on the phone with me.
You know, those people are out there, and those aren't the people that I want to associate myself with, because I'm not going to eliminate, someone from my life because their religion is different than mine, because their belief system is different. That's the whole point of the fucking show. Is we have people with different belief systems and different ways of looking at things that. We try to fucking make each other laugh. Yeah, we try to make fun of the news. We try to have a good time.
That's literally how you open the show. How everybody on here is completely different.
Right, exactly. And we
I imagine
we all get along. Oh my
right?
god!
And we
I imagine there were similar conversations. Juneteenth. What the fuck is Juneteenth?
I mean, we saw those signs. We saw those, those things.
You mean the bank is
we
closed?
Made, we pointed and laughed at it, and because it's fucking stupid, but that's that's the world we live in, and I mean, we just kind of there's there is a lot of ignorance out there, and you know, we're not going to solve that with you know, strong arming or anything like that. You have to have a conversation. You have to, you know, an honest conversation is a hard one. An honest conversation sometimes turns a little racist. An honest conversation sometimes turns a little misogynist. It's what happens, you know.
Like you said, people have different beliefs, and the person's next story believes that she almost got sent to jail because of the Walmart self-checkout.
Because the Walmart self-checkout is why she almost went to jail.
That's what it says. Walmart's supposed rollout.
Wait a minute. That is such a miscarriage of justice. That is.
You think?
That a self-checkout would send someone to jail.
So let's dig deeper into this.
Okay.
Walmart's supposed rollout of a new self-checkout technology has customers on high alert, as evidenced by one recent TikTok video in which a woman says she almost went to jail because of the store's new upgrades.
Does it have customers on high alert, or does it have thieves on high alert?
Well, we're going to find out.
Because
TikToker Brianna the Breeder.
Coming up on the B block, Big Daddy tries to steal from Walmart.
TikToker at Brianna the Breeder posted a video of herself walking through the Walmart.
Brianna the Breeder?
I know.
You know, I call myself Big Daddy the Breeder.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Posted a video of herself walking through the Walmart parking lot with her purchases with the caption, "Walmart is not green no more. Almost went to jail because of the new self-checkout update." She further captioned the video, which was viewed more than 300,000 times, saying,
"Just go ahead and share your screen there, Mike.
LMAOO, they showed me not scanning and all. Be safe, y'all." It wasn't clear what the Walmart location she was highlighting her video in, but
here's the thing.
Finessing the self-checkout system is apparently a bad way to get out of there.
They keep count of that.
I always assume they pay attention. The concept.
They do.
So they
have a very specific department in Walmart that watches.
It's called asset protection.
Loss prevention.
Loss prevention. Yeah.
Well, they used to call it asset protection.
And yeah.
Can you share your screen, Mike? Can you show that? Can you show that article? Because there was a couple things that bothered me about the article. Because the headline is a little misleading and the story is a little misleading.
Yeah.
And then there's some, because I know for a fact that Walmart has really made a climate pledge. To go green. They work on their negative, or their they try to negate their carbon footprint the best they can. So to accuse in the same article that they're accusing a self-checkout machine of sending this woman to jail, they are accusing Walmart of no longer being environmentally conscious because it's not green anymore.
Right.
And I don't know what green means. Because or they're making wild accusations that they're not, they're not being responsible with the stewards of the environment, which might be true. Can anyone comment on what is it, like green light?
Young people speak for new. They're not new anymore. They're not green anymore. They've matured. They know how.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, I thought
that
green.
Can't be right.
No, green is environmentally friendly. I thought.
Right. Green.
No,
Or
I
is there
get-
like a whole other
old
green now?
term.
Right, but
Green,
I
green
get.
isn't new, is an old term.
Yeah. But it is an old term, but it's still used. They're not green. I get it. They're not rookies anymore. They're on to everybody.
So
They're saying Walmart is a green company.
I still think they're talking about the environment. I don't think they're talking about rookies.
I was being
Walmart uses plastic bags still. They're not a green company. What are they?
I was
talking
being a
about?
smart ass.
Oh.
See,
Wait,
you
our
stopped-
Walmart doesn't use plastic anymore.
You
mine
stopped me.
does.
You stopped
really?
me before I got to
Yeah.
a key paragraph. The woman allegedly used a barcode that charged items for 25 cents, but owed over $100 for the items she attempted to take with her. As she made her way out of the store, she was followed by loss prevention officers, and police later arrived at the store. Her bond was...
This was a different woman. This wasn't her, right?
No, this was her.
Was it? I thought she almost went to jail. I thought that was the post, and I kind of read that. I read that article because
they gave her bond at $3,000, so that means she came up with $300. They turned her loose.
According
Some
to
places
asset
you can actually
protection
do that
specialists.
Right. Pardon me. Some
According
places
to
you can do that right with the cop.
Oh shit! Wait, what's that say? It said according to Walmart's asset protection. You guys saw that. Everybody saw it.
I wasn't looking.
According to Walmart's asset protection.
Yes, they did reference asset protection as well. Let's see. Right. According to Walmart, its asset protection specialists provide security in our stores, at distribution centers, and corporate facilities. More than that, asset protection teams ensure compliance and prevent shrink or losses from theft and fraud.
That's my career for 10 years.
Wait, so if I understand
Theft
this
and
article
fraud?
correctly, it started off with her saying that Walmart tried to frame her, but then the article says that she stole from Walmart.
Essentially, yes.
She
was
only
using
paid a quarter, but she owed $100.
Yeah, she was using a barcode that rang up for 25 cents,
Oh,
but had $100 worth of stuff in her cart.
that's
So
funny.
she stole from Walmart and then tried to say that they framed her.
Yes.
You know, Mike, if the phone line was open, we'd have a caller to chime in on the Walmart thing.
So this is like OJ. This is like OJ Simpson trying to tell us that, or Bill Cosby saying that all these women want to fuck.
It actually didn't ring. I do see a missed call here though.
See, the real question is not how much money did she get away with. The question is how many times did she escape them? Because this might be a good business decision. You know.
Like it's a risk reward scenario. Like
I mean, if you get caught like 1 in 10 times, I mean,
yeah, it's true. It could.
I think it depends on how badly you want to be ass raped the 10th time.
Go ahead and call back. Had a ring issue. The ringer was shut off.
So the ring, yeah. So I mean, but the
Like
whole
I'm
thing,
pretty good about gambling, but I don't want to gamble with my booty hole in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
up the soap here.
Yes, you do.
But my point is if you walk in somewhere and your intention is to steal, whether it is to steal some of the things or steal all, and not or not pay anything, your intention is to steal, which means you are not a customer, you are a thief. That's not a helpful note. Hey, our phone's ringing.
It sure enough is.
It sure enough is. Was our phone call on the 100th episode of the Media Virus Podcast. Caller, are you there?
And you are live.
Yeah,
caller.
I'm here. How you guys doing? First of all, let me congratulate you on 100 episodes. That's quite an achievement.
Thank you. Who do we have with us?
Oh, this would be Matty Rockdeff Jr.
Hey, little Rock Deaf. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I was tuned in to hear you guys talking about this Walmart debacle, but I didn't hear anybody raise the objection here. I don't understand how they can try to send this woman to prison. She's not a trained employee at Walmart. So what it seems like to me is they're basically, depriving her of the means of her own production by acting as a cashier in their store. And when she makes a simple mistake, because she wasn't trained, they try to send her to prison. I don't understand how this works.
That's a good one.
Treating our cashiers better.
You did a Uno reverse.
This is the setup.
I mean, it seems to me like they're acting like Black Lives don't matter. And they're out here trying to lock this poor woman in prison because she failed to follow some procedure she was never trained on. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I'm still waiting on my Walmart benefits for all the times I've had to check myself out.
Yeah.
I heard they offer eye dental too.
Oh, but here's the thing: do you go to the cashier or do you go to the self checkout? You know what I mean?
Well, it's the thing. Sometimes I go to the self checkout. Sometimes I go to the cashier. It really depends on how expensive the items are that I'm buying.
Because if they're really expensive, you're going to steal them and you're going to go to the self-checkout. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not
Self-checkout.
going to steal them, but if I go and happen to make a mistake, I haven't been trained on how to act as a cashier. I've never had that job in my life. You know, it's like, it's outrageous. Would you?
But you know enough to bring your own barcode for 25 cents or to find something for 25 cents. You just scan that instead.
You just scan a pack of gum.
Barcodes were all different. She was like, "Oh, that's one of those. I can scan this one and save some time."
You know, so what? I'm trying to check out with a TV and a pack of gum. I happen to accidentally scan the gum twice, and I'm a criminal now.
Yeah.
Right?
Guys in the middle of a herd of zebras. Could you tell them apart? Honest mistake.
And Walmart's a major corporation. They'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to sit and pocket watch Walmart, all right? Especially when they're trying to imprison this young woman over what, $1,000? Are we serious? The government handed out more than that, 6 months ago to everybody in the whole country. It's like it's chump change.
This hurts my head.
I'm outraged. I am, but I don't want to hijack the whole thing.
I'm with Maddie.
I'm outraged and appalled.
By the
I
caller.
also wanted to thank you guys for last week's segment on herpes. I felt very seen and heard.
No problem.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much.
All right, Maddie, you get some cream on that, and we're gonna move on to our third story.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Congratulations on 100.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stick around. Call back. Bye.
Not that I've been
All
He's
right,
funny.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to get him on the show forever. He's like, oh, he's got a kid, he's got a baby and everything.
So do I. I got 2 of them. That's an excuse.
But his is my granddaughter, so I just forgive him. There's nothing I can do. I can't make him join the show.
Yes, you can. You're his father. Are you kidding me?
What are you on crack?
threaten to cut off his inheritance.
Yeah.
Grab him.
Okay, while we all laugh about that, maybe we can talk about one more thing from TikTok.
Not for nothing, but do you have children to make little slaves, or do you make children to create new sentient beings?
Who?
Anybody who like Juliet's, I guess, the only one who's made other person that's made children. Like, how do you look at do you look at a child as your servant, or do you look at a child as its own, as their person, and you try to do the best you can because that person has to go out in the world and deal with it?
My kids are their own people, and I push them to strive and be the best versions of themselves that they can be and be true to themselves.
Right. Listen, the first 2 or 3 you do that with, but after like 5
stop!
or 6, now you start working.
I mean, somebody's got corn, somebody's got to mow the grass.
Exactly. Anything after 5 or 6, you got workers now.
Well, that was my father's philosophy, and that was, the whole, his family's philosophy is you had a bunch of kids because you worked on a farm. You had to have a bunch of kids walk, to milk the cows, and you had them to work is what their intention, their purpose was you raised them for a little while until you can make them do stuff, and then you made them do stuff. That's
terrible.
Well, that's all right. That's how I was raised. Fuck off.
I'm so sorry, Maddie.
But
So, but I raised him to be like, I didn't want that for him. For him, he was a person, and I needed to, try to guide him the best I could.
You learned what not to do to your kids.
Partially, but also Matt learned also a lot of what not to do too,
So
Sure he did.
So did either of you learn not to make sleepy chicken for your children? It's the latest challenge that's out on TikTok, and it's apparently very dangerous.
There is a correction to that story, which makes it really funny. It's a hoax.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay.
The story actually goes there.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you shouldn't be braising your chicken in cough syrup. Not only does it make it a funky green or blue, but those vapors could knock you out, or you could overdose on something. And as it turns out, when the recipe was first posted, where was the? It gives a little bit of information about when it was first posted. The guy who actually posted it did it as a gag, and like it asked for things like 4/3 of a cup of cough syrup, and
So it's like robo tripping, but on a different level.
It's lean chicken.
Basically, what the FDA did is explain to a bunch of morons that weren't cooking their chicken in NyQuil. They told them that if they did cook NyQuil, that the fumes would get them high.
yes,
Is what the FDA just told everybody.
Hey,
don't do that. That's really gonna fuck you up. Everybody heard that, and now everybody's gonna be huffing NyQuil. I guarantee it.
when the original Sleepy Chicken recipe posted, it was for a groundbreaking recipe that involved pouring 4/3 of a bottle into the frying pan with chicken breasts, and you boil the mixture for 5 to 30 minutes.
5
That's
to 30
nasty.
minutes.
The guy who did that video too, he's been known to do stupid shit like that, to like just fuck with people on TikTok. And that thing pops up on my For You page, and I was like, I like scrolled right past it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I like scrolled past it. Like, I'm not watching this stupid shit.
All I can say is might save Boston Market's business model.
Oh, what? You know what? Honestly, I actually do like Boston Market.
I just want to say that the FDA
The first time I had
coming out
Boston
against
Market
the
was
FDA
when I
coming
was
out
in
against
Delaware,
what do you? Nobody heard you.
and I used to work there too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Boston-
I used to
Cool.
Boston Market, but I worked at it in
Holy
Delaware
Holy shit.
on Pennsylvania Ave.
What was I
Wait
saying?
a minute. I used to go to that one.
What? Maybe I
Oh,
saw
Yeah.
it in
I had a point.
2008.
What the fuck
That was literally like down
Oh,
the
yeah.
street from where I used to work.
Let me write it down. That's
Would
what
you?
I'll do.
Oh, I worked at Grotto's
You make a
Pizza
note.
too. That was
I'm
near
gonna make
there.
a note of the quick thing I wanted to fucking say 7 times, but everybody's
I
talking about
got
fucking Boston Market.
Grotto's Pizza was my first.
Oh, now
Wait,
we're on
hold
to fucking Grotto's Pizza.
Don't
Hey, do you want to take a
Grotto's
fucking trip
Pizza.
to the airport?
You want to know that was my first job,
here at the Media
and
Virus Podcast.
I
Takeout
got
talk.
it was my first job, and I got fired from there. You know what I got fired for?
Talking too fucking much?
Sexual harassment.
Who did you sexually harass?
Some girl, but she told me to smack her on the ass, and I did, and I got fired for that. But she smacked me on the ass too, and I was 15, and she was an adult.
Did she get fired too?
No, just me. But the manager didn't like me. She was a fucking bitch. So, fuck you, Grotto's Pizza manager, bitch.
So
From
when's gonna
2006.
Yeah. You're gonna get a reunion show just like Jersey Shore for that?
So that's going to be the A block. We'll be back in the B block right after a brief
Commercial.
No, we're just going to recollect. We're going to collect our thoughts and get back at it. So thank you for joining us on the Media Virus Podcast. As you can hear, you can give us a call at 1-646-VIRUS-01. That's 1-646-VIRUS-01 to talk to us here in the Media Virus Podcast. We'll be back right after this.
Damn, Big Daddy.
It is really difficult to traffic cop over Zoom. And when you guys start talking over each other, everything gets lost. Everything gets lost. So we need to look for breaks.
Calm the fuck down.
So, all right, let's gather up. What's going on in because we're still broadcasting, we're still live streaming.
Yep. I'm gonna
Are we gonna live stream the whole thing?
Yeah, for the 100th episode, we are.
Brought the
live
bag of
streaming.
poop, by the way.
Oh, good. All right,
Fantastic.
Wow, that is a significant.
I told you she had to go.
God damn.
Nice bomb you drop right there. Way to produce Sasha. Way to produce Sasha.
I've been
you
sitting
go
here
through
with
the
it for the
neighborhood
last
and
15 minutes.
Wow. Whoa.
For the B block, I want to come back in. I've got a handful of clips that I pulled from the first meeting that Matt and I had about the show. We can play and talk about those. I've adjusted the tips. I have a about a 3.5-minute montage of some key moments throughout the run of our show. And then we've got a Pumpkin Spice Stanley, which that's interesting. Hey, I've got a Pumpkin Spice Stanley over here. I gave her a Pumpkin Spice Stanley.
Yeah, now we need to come up with an
Somebody
actual-
go to Urban Dictionary right
Oh
now.
God.
And
Asking for it.
Pumpkin
Got
Spice
it.
Stanley.
That's pretty good.
And then C Block will be all Bill, wall to wall. So
Wall to wall William.
Did I tell you guys how many people are watching us?
Yeah.
4.
3 of them are on the show.
2.
2.
2.
Oh, see,
You're-
they don't. They
Just so
don't
you
care
know,
about
you're
this.
one of them.
Right.
I might be the others. Doesn't really matter.
Well, the other's Matt Jr. That's
Oh, that's right. Matt Jr., right? I forgot. Matt Jr. was watching.
if we subtract your family and
Hey,
people
wait.
on the show.
No. Matt,
Mike.
I just explained he's a sentient being. He is his own person. I have no
Yes.
control over him.
Wait,
If
hold
he's
on.
tuned in, that's by his choice.
Listen, Matt, if you can get your wife to watch in the other room, we'll double our viewership instantly.
Okay. Look up the handle Pumpkin Spice Stanley on Twitter.
We should stop making it a hashtag.
Is there a Pumpkin Spice Stanley on Twitter?
There is.
I want to
Damn.
look this up right now.
You gotta go look at it.
Is it pornography?
No,
I'm
I
looking it
don't
up.
know. I don't know what it is,
Oh.
but it's
Mike,
Yes.
are we gonna do Tipsy Tarot next week then? Because with the full moon is this Sunday.
Yeah.
the at.
Push it out.
All right. Pumpkin Spice.
Just put in Pumpkin Spice
Stanley.
Stanley and then bring up the Twitter link. Dude.
Mike, why don't you go ahead and
Are
pull
you
that up
seeing
since we're
this?
talking
Yeah.
about it?
I'm
I'm
getting
typing
now.
it.
That would be at
Are you talking about
MS
the?
Cox,
Oh,
Cockchafer.
Yeah,
Got
that guy.
oh my God! Hold on. Let me
Ah.
screenshot this background.
Yeah.
Hang on,
All right,
Mike's gonna
I'm about
Mike's
to
gonna
send this
share
right
his
now to the
screen in a
group
second.
chat.
What
All right.
what flag is that?
So we're coming back in.
Okay.
We've kind of been back, I guess.
All right,
We're
look,
back
I
on the
just
Media
sent
Virus
it.
podcast.
We never left.
This is the B block, and here we go. This is and if you were with us in the live stream, we were talking about coming back, and at some point in this B block, we're going to have a Pumpkin Spice Stanley, which is Stanley's new report on pumpkin spice. And then it became clear to us that someone on Twitter calls themselves Pumpkin Spice Stanley.
Wow.
And yeah, exactly.
Got
Apparently-
dedicated into the terror and decided to make it everyone else's problem.
He just calls himself Pumpkin Spice Stanley. His handle is actually at HMS Cockchafer. His name is Spencer. He's 35. His pronouns are they and them.
Of course.
So,
I feel like-
you'd
I feel like
say
if you're gonna
their pronouns are they them.
He
Wait,
claims
he
to
has
have
some-
cottagecore brain disease.
And that's trademarked, apparently.
Yeah, trademark.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Why is that
He's
funny?
scared-
That might
he's
be like a
scared-
real
he's
thing.
scared of
We don't know
bugs.
that that's not a real thing.
He's
No.
scared of bugs and allergic to hay. Let's see what else we got.
Can we please at him in the live stream and see if he'll call?
Yes.
All right.
This page is totally a troll.
Grease Monkey's in the basement. He's gonna go ahead and tag him in the fucking for some reason.
Yeah.
See if we can get him to call in. That's
Make sure you give him the number there.
sounds
Pete.
like a
Yep,
starting to
hang
sound like a
on.
bad
So-
idea.
Like I said, I actually found the recording that I made the night that Matt and I first sat down and really started to talk about putting this show together. And I pulled out some key bits from it that I thought were interesting. Like there was the idea.
Like the idea here is like you and I get shit rolling, and then we start, see if Wednesdays work out. Wednesdays at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, if we were getting together to do something, I'd want to do it earlier.
Sure.
But I mean, I got to pick up my wife. I want to eat dinner. I want to, pour myself a bunch of gin into an Arby's cup.
So as you can see, Matt had his priorities straight from the beginning. I think this was actually said before that because
like the idea of like, hey man, you want to start a podcast? Let's start fucking Wednesday.
It can't wishing. I mean, he's
like order. Like just, you know what? Let's just fucking have a call and set up and know that we're working.
Right.
You know, and
you got to get the tech down first.
You got to get the tech down first. You and I are going to be the tech guys, and we have to have that rhythm. Like you and I have to develop again, you know, because it's a difference. Like we're not sitting next to each other. Yep. I can't just pass you a fucking. I'm sure eventually there's a way we can like pass each other notes and, you know, have something up so that, you know, we can like all communicate with each other, and we have somebody else who's, you know, quiet, just making sure. May have somebody who's running the dead man and the screen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that we can
somebody who's not talent is actually doing the behind the scenes stuff. So that's the one thing we haven't really done.
No, we don't have I don't run a dead man anymore either. That was my reference to my second stream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I call it a dead man because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Here's where we came up with the name.
I want to just call it the Media Virus Presents.
Okay.
And it's like the Media Virus Presents Matty Rockdeath Life Coach. So it's these short little bits, right, of, you know, whatever.
me being a life coach was the more ridiculous than me being a host.
I thought that was the most fun clip that I could pull out.
But I think Matty Rockdeath Life Coach is be a funny bit, and like people like ask me questions and I give them advice.
We should totally do that.
But we're trying to run just the tips and get people to call in and fucking ask Stanley, who actually has a doctorate from the U of V in chronic vaginosis. Okay, what? I thought he was frozen there for a second because his face wasn't moving.
You're just trying to get.
Ew, he has chronic vaginosis.
That's all I could think of at the moment.
Maddie, the life coach thing with Shitty Butt.
What's that?
You should do the life coach thing and use Shitty Butt as like the first person you give advice to.
Who's Shitty?
Shitty Butt?
Who's Shitty
Butt? The guy who sits on the warehouse every day.
Oh. The warehouse we work at, there's a homeless man who likes to take his morning dump on the building.
I see.
Wow.
And somebody has to go clean it up every day. It's not me. I guarantee that shit. But yeah, it's like, hey man, there are better places to take a dump than right here. Over there, it looks pretty good.
You can improve his life.
Probably could. What's next there, Mike? What else we got?
I was gonna get ready to jump over to a Stanley clip, but I've got Maddie explains staff writer Bill.
The dude that I work with, the guy that I make videos for and of.
Right.
Like, you know, our offices are right next to each other. Like, he's always fucking irritating me. Like, we're always, you know. So I go, listen, I'm kicking around this idea, you know. And he knows, like, I've talked about this idea. And he'll come in and pitch it to me.
Right.
And then I'll think it's funny for a second and then, you know, forget it. What he pitched to me was, and this is exactly, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. He goes, what you need to do is, like, you know, like invite a guest on that does what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it. I wrote it down for a fucking reason. Conversion therapy.
Right.
Like an advocate for conversion therapy, but the opposite way.
To turn people gay.
Yeah, if you're straight and you want to be gay, you know, you can go to conversion therapy. And I'm kind of looking at him just now I'm looking at him and this is what this was his rationale. This was his rationale for this bet. He goes, you know how, like, if you could just, okay, this is how he starts it. Everybody has had the thought. Did you hear that, Michael?
Yeah.
Everybody has had the thought. If I could get past the mental block of sucking one dick, like there's something inside me that, like, there's the thing that stops you from sucking a dick.
Okay.
But right.
So for you,
But if you could get past that one thing, you would get all kinds of dick. And I'm like, the only flaw in your logic to me, my friend, is that you preface this with everybody's had the thought.
So that was my introduction to what Staff Writer Bill is.
I completely forgot about that. Everybody's had the thought.
I maintain that not everyone has had that thought, Bill.
Yeah, not everyone has had that thought.
Are you sure?
Well, let's take a poll.
This might be a white people thing.
Marsh.
Show of hands. Who's had that thought?
No,
See, but here's the problem. I didn't have that thought until it was put in my head. So I did have the thought and then went, no, I don't want to do that.
No.
Because I don't want to, like, there's more than just a mental block of me sucking one dick. It's more than that. You know what I mean? It's not mental. There's an attraction there too. Like,
unless you're afraid that you're going to be really good at it.
I mean, like, dude, if someone's got a gun to my head or, gives me $15, that's a different story.
Sometimes you're under an underpass, and
$15 is $15.
So,
motivation is key.
Gonna at least tax money for the beer too.
I mean, I guess the Scorpion goddess doesn't have that mental block, so she
Maybe she
has
does.
to turn down the dick.
I'll say that's not necessarily true.
She has to say no. What do you mean? Like, she's explained to us on the show that she is with her husband, very, very active and enjoys multiple things that she's done. And that's very.
Would you like to try the other foot, Matt?
What? I'm just saying.
As a once married man, I can tell you that that there are women who have that block too. I know that because I married one.
No, right? No, I am familiar with women, of that nature, and sometimes the block does develops over time. It's weird, but
it does develop around the same time that you place a ring on that fourth finger. Interesting.
It can. It's been known to happen.
The ring
however,
itself is the block.
However, Scorpion Goddess has mentioned before that it's.
My husband is a very lucky man, but I'm really lucky too. We listen. I love my husband to death.
Not for nothing. I think you said it right there.
This.
I think
Can
you
shut
said.
the fuck up and let her get this thought out.
Nah. Okay.
My thought was going to go into something you guys were going to be like, oh, okay, here she goes.
All right, good. But I think that's.
When I met him, I was like, I need to do your chart to see what I'm working with, and I did it, and I was like.
And he didn't run screaming from the room.
No, but when I met him, he was like, I'm 21 and I'm a Gemini. And I was like, oh, hell no, this is not going to happen. But I asked for his birth time and all that. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. And now, like, he's my
Is he significantly younger than you?
No.
Huh, all right.
No, just by 3 years. No.
I mean, for male to female, that's not significant, but less than common.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
When we met too, we lived over 2,000 miles apart. We had 0 mutual friends. There's a whole story that goes into it, but I won't get into that on this episode. But yeah.
On this episode of the Media Virus Podcast, but maybe in a future episode, we will talk about whatever she was talking about before.
I know I promised to adjust the tips, but I just realized that We ran 17 last week, and that was the last one. So I'm going to jump right into a pumpkin style.
No, you know what I think? I think it's fitting. Listen, run episode 1. Let's see the first episode of Just the Tips on the 100th episode.
We can go
I
back.
think it's worth revisiting.
Or we could put Big Daddy on the spot
it
and
has
come up with
evolved.
something now.
We could do that too.
He wants us to do it. Do it.
Oh wow! So if anyone out there has questions about your love life, about your sex life, about your work life, give Big Daddy a call. He's got Just the Tips. 646 virus 01. That's 646 virus 01. Phone lines are open.
This was a fantastic suggestion, by the way.
It absolutely was.
Here we are with Just the Tips.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, audience of the Media Virus podcast. I am the one and only Dr. Dre, and I recently received my degree in Big Ecology from the University of V, and I felt that it was time to present to you the first installment of Sex Tips from yours truly, Dr. Dre, in a segment that I like to call Just the Tips. First tip. Most women simply do not understand that, given the fact that the penis is largely controlled by an involuntary response system, you, ladies, have far more control over its sexual performance than we men do. So, ladies, keep that in mind. Next, suck dick like a quickly melting ice cream cone and not like an all-day leisurely lollipop. Enthusiasm is key. It is so important that if you're going to suck your man's dick, that you do it with enthusiasm, like melted ice cream cone. That shit right there ain't gonna get the job done. You gotta grab that motherfucker and take it like you want it. You know what I'm saying? You be good to it, it'll be good to you.
Now, how inebriated were you during this, Stanley?
Lastly, sex itself should be done with enthusiasm, passion, desire, to provide a good reason for it to happen again. Fact is, if there's no reason for me to just, come over and do it again, ain't gonna happen. So, enthusiasm is key, ladies. Thank you for your time and attention, and we'll see you next time. Dr. Dre out. Just the Tips.
You know, I know that was Just the Tips part 1, but it's like there was 3 tips in there.
I think the best one was when he said with passion, because sex isn't good unless the passion is there.
Yeah, you can stick a dick in a hole, but unless you're doing it with passion.
Right. It's just.
I could do a live Just the Tips for episode 100.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just the Tips. Episode 18, Media Virus Podcast. Episode 100, Big Dick Daddy, Doctor of Ecology from the University of V, coming at you with another Just the Tips. Tonight's episode, Dirty Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you have to be willing to grab that woman lovingly, firmly by the throat, clench your teeth, and tell her, girl, I'm gonna fuck the dog shit out of you tonight. Who's your daddy? Smack on the ass and tell her what you want to do with it. Then you look her in the eye, put some bass in your voice. Tell her to suck your dick. Girl, suck this dick. Suck this dick. Put the bass in your voice. See, women are way nastier than we often give them credit for. And oftentimes, if you say things in the right way, with the right amount of bass in your voice, she will do that shit. But you got to believe in it. And ladies, same thing applies to you. When your man is hitting it right, don't be afraid to turn around and let him know how good that shit feels, where you're feeling it, how good it feels. Oh my goodness, it's in my throat. That's what I'm talking about. Let me know that I'm poking your kidney. You know what I'm saying? On both ends. Don't be afraid to let the curse words fly. Dirty talk. Everyone loves it, and not everyone likes to admit it. Even the most Christian girls, even in the Bible Belt, they be praising Jesus on Sunday and praising that dick on Saturday night. Just the tips. Big Dick Daddy. Media Virus Podcast episode 100. Happy fucking.
The best part is we had the underlay music of Pete shoving nuts in his mouth.
Glad I could contribute.
Salty, greasy nuts into his mouth is.
Hey, there we go for dirty talk.
So next up, I put together an audio montage, about 3.5 minutes, just some key moments throughout the history of the show, starting with, I guess it's our second episode that we, because I went strictly with audio stuff. So,
By far my favorite story we ever did,
and it comes together with our with us having staff writer Bill on the show. So here we go. We're getting a 10-second countdown. We're at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now just wait. You hear that noise?
Listen. Shh, listen.
It's raining whale. Hallelujah! It's raining whale.
The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival.
Some chick has a PhD, but she's much more popular for her OnlyFans. Please welcome. Hang on a second. Pause that for a second, Mike.
So adorable.
Not easy to pause this, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It.
That was from a news story where they, the Washington State Highway Department was called in to remove a beached dead whale. And they thought it was a good idea to just shove dynamite under it.
Oh my God.
And people came out and watched. And when it blew, chunks of whale went all over everybody, and it fucked up somebody's car. It was this was 50 years ago. Like we started the show, and then the second episode was the 50th anniversary of that happening. And I thought that I just giggled my fucking ass off. And obviously because I made him stop this thing. I'm sorry, Mike, please. I'm sorry to interrupt your thing.
All right.
The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival.
So here we go.
Some chick has a PhD, but she's much more popular for her OnlyFans. Please welcome the doctor.
You guys are so adorable. You're so adorable. You're so adorable. I'm so used to being used by men, and it's okay because you're just so cute.
Okay.
Shit. In space.
You're a fucking genius. Let me introduce you. Give us to the new member of the.
So that was the first shit in space where we went on the fly with a special intro for the bit. Matt,
these are all just pieces of audio that entertain me and Mike only. we're going to continue this masturbatory event. Go ahead, Mike.
What up, bitches? The best. are the people who think that Aunt Mary Pat is a real living human.
I want everyone to know the dedication level and tenacity of our executive producer. He has done this show with a twisted knee, a bruised tailbone, 3 weeks with COVID-19, was released from the hospital yesterday after an emergency gallbladder surgery, an overnight stay, which he said the worst part of that was not being able to play with his little Dickie.
It was
The
really
Reverend,
sad.
the professor, and the goddamned legend, Mike Latoris.
Good evening, everybody.
This is the Scorpion Goddess, a former student of mine. I'm so incredibly proud of her. I follow her on Facebook and things. Actually, I stalk you a little. I'll be honest. You know, I creep your Facebook page, and I'm like, oh my God, she's so cute, and her kids are so cute, and her husband's so cute, and oh my God, I'm so proud. So anyway, everyone, this is Juliet Everett, the Scorpion Goddess. Welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. So,
And that
and the hammer and scissors.
and that brings us to the debut of our new segment, Story Time with Staff Writer Bill.
Hey kids, it's time for Staff Writer Bill and his puppet friends to tell us a story. And now here he is, Staff Writer. Come on over, we'll listen to him tell us a story.
Hi, kids.
So that was some of the key moments when people joined us.
I noticed you don't have the moment in which I joined.
I did. That's when you said.
When you said, "What's up, bitches?"
No, that is not the first thing I said when I joined.
It's the first thing we've got on tape.
What'd you say?
That's true. The first thing I said on tape cannot be repeated because
repeat it. I want to hear it.
because we got an explicit.
What'd you say?
Stanley thinks it's funny when he says the N-word and uses the hard R.
Oh.
Because he knows how grating it is on the ears to hear. You know, that's why it has that soft A ending, because that's not as that's more friendly.
I jumped on and I jumped in and I said, "What's up, N-word lovers?" And everyone immediately
shat themselves. But we were.
It was like your goal is to make everybody uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in 1 second,
we were not live streaming at that point yet. We were still just recording and posting.
We would have been canceled.
I would have laughed so hard.
And we're so terrified. We're so white we edited it out. That's how.
But those were my first words on the show.
That's right.
What happens for on Christmas?
It's around. I didn't put it in the montage, but
we usually revisit it every Christmas. You know, it's a Christmas thing. Just like we're gonna revisit the interview with Santa.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Which
I sent that to my parents.
I don't think the mind shifter, knows that Staff Writer Bill interviewed the real Santa Claus, but he did, and it's a Christmas tradition.
You better give the mind shifter some Valium.
I think he's frozen. He's either frozen or he's put a cardboard cutout of himself.
I think he's put a static picture up and left.
Me?
Could be.
I think he's
trying to watch.
Maybe he's throwing out. Maybe he's throwing out his dog's poop. Finally, he's been hanging on to it.
It's been sitting there too long.
Sitting there too long.
It's starting to stink up the room.
Getting a little ripe.
But while we get this together, I'm going to play us out of the B block here with a Pumpkin Spice Stanley.
Yes.
And when we come back, we're going
to
be the C block, and it's going to be wall to wall Bill. So here we go with Pumpkin Spice Stanley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the Media Virus Podcast. It is Pumpkin Spice Stanley coming to you with Pumpkin Spice Stanley Reviews Pumpkin Spice Things Episode 2. Tonight, we're going to review another classic. This is the Wawa Pumpkin Spice Coffee, to which I'm going to add Pumpkin Spice Coffee Creamer. This comes from Aldi. It was only like $2. We're going to add that to our pumpkin spice coffee and see what we come up with.
I see you're festive. You have your orange shirt on.
Yes, it is a pumpkin spice colored shirt.
Yes.
Just enough. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be so good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think I need to add a little bit more creamer, but I'm not sure. Let's figure it out.
I was going to say it looks like good coffee because it didn't lighten that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a pen?
Chopstick.
Pretty good.
Oh, okay.
What I like about the Wawa Pumpkin Spice Coffee, it's got good notes of cinnamon, good notes of nutmeg, a good shot of pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice coffee creamer from Aldi is also pretty good. Running out, time to go back to Aldi. It's a good addition to it. Not much fat, not much sugar. Anyway, Pumpkin Spice Stanley, sampling Wawa Pumpkin Spice Coffee and Pumpkin Spice Creamer from Aldi. Let's give the creamer a 6 out of 10. It doesn't really stand alone very well. We'll give the coffee 7 out of 10. Could have a little bit stronger of a spice taste to it, but not a bad combination. All right, Pumpkin Spice Stanley, episode 2, Media Virus Podcast, and I'm out.
All right, I take issue with the whole thing. I'm gonna start. No, I contest. I contest your judgment of 7 out of 10. First of all, I'd like to call a foul of the two pumpkin spices. Just flat out, you can't judge. The pumpkin spices. You can't conflict the two mixtures. Okay.
But you can't have coffee without creamer.
Secondly,
Right.
no, you can't. Wait. But no, you can. But you can have milk. You can have if you enjoy your pumpkin spice with a French vanilla, and you know that, and then
That would be a pumpkin pie.
All right. My second question, just a question here is, why would you bring the coffee home instead of just making it at Wawa?
Because
Wawa
too much
Wawa
background
does
noise.
not have pumpkin spice flavored creamer.
Wait, I have something you should try for the next segment. It should be Shipyard, but you should do it as a pumpkin pie. So you do a shot of vanilla vodka. You're going to do the rim with sugar and cinnamon. So obviously do the rim first, then pour the Shipyard with a shot of vanilla vodka in it. Because Shipyard it's pumpkin beer. You should do that for your next one. And it's called a pumpkin pie. It's really good.
Send me the information. I'll make it work. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll mix up some other pumpkin flavor into it and then judge it. That's what he'll do.
Actually, we can do a live pumpkin spice Stanley tasting now.
Ooh, what do you have?
I have
he has a white girl, and she is just riddled with pumpkin spice.
I was just going to say that. Damn. But I was like, I don't know if it's going to be funny if I say it or not.
I have, this is sparkling fresh pumpkin spice apple cider.
Ooh, try it.
And I've been wanting, this was going to be the next video, actually.
Is it a hard cider?
No, it's
Just
safe.
regular cider. It's safe.
All right, now this
Pete,
comes
you're
from
on
Aldi.
mute.
It's only a couple of bucks. Am I muted?
Doing a lot of advertising for Aldi's this week.
Somebody shut me up.
So sometimes I don't mind that you eating nuts in the background, but when we're playing
Fucking
videos,
delicious.
Yeah.
all right. So Stanley gives the thumbs up.
Delicious.
All right, let's get into.
Where'd you get it? At Aldi's?
Is it Aldi's? Is only a couple of bucks.
I'm gonna try it.
The sugar carbs, not too bad.
Text
Sparkling
it to me
French
so I
Punches,
remember
South
because I will forget.
There you go. We'll put a
That's
we'll put a
pretty
link
good.
or
I'll
something.
give that
We'll figure
one. That
something
one gets
out.
a
Put it-
solid 8.
Solid 8.
Solid 8. There we go. All right. So we will we'll be back with our C block right after this. Remember, you can always give us a call 1-646-virus-01. That's 1-646-virus-01. And remember, the C block this week is going to be wall to wall staff writer Bill.
Wall to wall William.
I'm jerking them all. I jerked off all of them.
Wednesday. Wall to wall William.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, we're going to come back in hot, Bill. I'm going to announce the C block. I will play your intro, and then we go right into. I'll bring up the screen share of your presentation.
You're on mute.
You're muted.
I'm unmuting him. Hang on.
We're streaming, right?
We are streaming.
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Yeah, but we're gonna go through the PowerPoint and then we'll do the
We'll do the puppet show.
Puppets on the back end. Gotcha.
You got it, baby.
I shared it and it just keeps saying it's loading on my thing for Twitter.
That's.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I don't know.
And we're
So
back.
it's not.
Go
So
ahead.
it's not to give a spoil. Oh, we're back. Never mind.
And we're back in the C block on the Media Virus podcast, and it's going to be wall to wall Bill, and it's going to be story time with staff writer Bill.
Hey kids, it's time for Staff Writer Bill and his puppet friends to tell us a story. And now here he is, Staff Writer. Come on over and we'll listen to him tell us a story.
So, guys, I put together a very, very special presentation for the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Where it's called Matty Rockdeath, Shitty Impersonator. And we're going to be talking about all the different personalities and figures that Matty Rockdeath is just a shitty version of. So, PowerPoint format, all business in the front. We're going to dive right in here. Want to get everyone's opinion on this. So, first off is Shitty Cousin It. If he grew his hair just a little bit longer, I think he could pull it off.
This is the most creative I've ever seen Bill in my life.
I definitely I concur. We could do a Shitty Cousin It.
I could do absolutely. I can
I
do a
love
shitty lot of
Cousin
things.
It.
But hang on, let's.
Okay, Shitty Papa,
Oh,
especially with the white shirt, the beard, the kind of depressed look.
He even went and found a shitty Papa Smurf.
wait. That shirt, he wears a shirt that's like that too, except it's short sleeves.
Yeah, it's that's him right there.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right? So
Right.
now here we go.
Shitty Rasputin. I didn't see
Ding,
that
ding, ding,
coming.
ding. We have a winner.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I gotta admit, I've never been called a shitty Rasputin before. Thank you very much.
Shitty Jason.
Jason Momoa, I've been called several times.
There because we can't have them all be mean. We can only
Just
have
today, I called you a shitty Jason Momoa.
Just today.
I was talking to my friend, and
He looks like a shitty Jason Momoa.
Literally, right before coming on to the podcast, I said he looks like a shitty Jason Momoa.
Oh, I know the guy. I know who
But
you mean.
he's kind of got the same eyes. You know what I mean?
Because at the gala, at the 100th episode gala event,
That's right.
I was asked, well, who's the podcast guy? I said, well, it was the guy in the vampire looking shirt, and no one knew what I meant. And then when I said shitty Jason Momoa, oh, everyone knew.
That's funny.
So 7's a winner. Oh, here we go.
Shitty Kenny. I think I'm a terrific Kenny Rogers. Fuck you.
You gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them.
Know when to hold 'em.
And you gotta
Remember when they
Hold
did?
'em.
Remember when they did
Know
Kenny
when to
Rogers on
walk
Jackass?
away. I know when to run. You
remember
never count your money.
So you can hardly tell the difference.
See?
I will say when the beard is trimmed, Shitty Kenny Rogers.
Shitty Stinky Pete.
Wow.
You didn't expect me to pull an animation, did you?
First of all, Stinky Pete is shitty to begin with.
All right, he's a terrible toy. He's a terrible human being.
But all you need is the hat and overalls, and we're gold.
And you can pull the string for 9 different sayings. Let's see where we go to number 4.
Shitty John Daly.
Shitty John Daly. There you go. Golf
There you
legend. John Daly.
But
I would argue that John Daly is a shitty Matty Rockdeath. I'm not. I mean, not for nothing.
You know, once you slimmed up a little bit, you don't look as much John Daly. But
No.
like, you know, a couple months ago, you looked a lot like John Daly.
Okay. I appreciate that, Bill.
Yeah.
So
That's what
where number 3 takes us. This can only get better, right?
Such a Sagittarius.
The shitty Santa Claus.
Shitty Santa Claus.
Right,
We all know,
right.
you know, he makes a very shitty Santa Claus. I'm
I
waiting
do.
for him to pull it off in sweatpants when he wears a red sweatshirt with red sweatpants. It's gonna be perfect.
That'll be a great video this year. And number 2?
Shitty Dumbledore.
Oh.
Dumbledore.
Shitty Dumbledore.
That's not Dumbledore.
Yes, it is.
That's Gandalf, you moron.
No, eldest.
No, that's Dumbledore.
That is definitely Dumbledore.
And I know that because number 1,
That's
It's
Gandalf.
Shitty Gandalf.
Gandalf.
All right. I stand corrected. Why do they look so much alike?
They do look a
Because
lot
they're
alike.
shitty
Wow.
versions of Matty
Alike.
Rockdeath. That's why.
But shitty Gandalf has to be number 1.
Because they're filled with wisdom.
I just like to point out that the most effort I've ever seen Bill put into this show was to just shit all over me.
Funny story. Within a week of we talked about this months ago, and I told Bill, hey, if you give me a shitty top 10 list with puppets, I'll give you the whole block. And we all signed off, and Matt was like, you know that's not going to happen, right? So I started poking Bill on Messenger. I'm like, dude, got to do this. So within a week, I had the presentation. I was like, okay, this is going to happen. It's going to happen.
No,
And
I got to tell you guys, I got it for the puppet show that Bill's about to put on for us.
Uh-huh.
I was privy to the construction and detail put into these puppets.
Are
And
the puppets of us?
Yes.
I
they're
hope
puppets
so.
of you. Now,
Oh, God.
what we're doing is he's
We're
set
doing a
us-
Lord of the... Yeah.
Yeah, he's setting us in a Lord of the Rings type of scenario. So obviously you can figure out who.
Why are you giving us the plot?
Well, look, all right, you're very good point.
He was setting the stage.
I'm setting the stage because we're gonna spotlight Bill. Nope, that's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How did I fuck this up?
Hey, Big Daddy, what's up? Cheers.
Hang on. This is ridiculous.
I think I'm spotlighting.
I just muted Bill.
There
Yeah,
you
you
are.
are spotlighted. There we go. All right, so you're spotlighted so that we can see your puppet show. All right.
Oh man, I'm nervous.
So, you know, a long time ago, you know, there was a ring, and the ring was powerful. And that was, you know, the thing they fought over in Middle Earth. And there was a great wizard named Maddie who enlisted the help of some hobbits. One of the hobbits' name was the Doc. And Maddie and the Doc went on an adventure to try to return the ring back to Mordor. Why are my puppets not... along the way, Frodo, also known as the Doc, had to get some help from me and a bunch of other really tough people. And as we went to return that ring, we ran into somebody known as the Scorpion Goddess, who tried to take the ring.
Gonna get that one.
Right? And, there was a lot of things going on. And there were bad people. There were these ugly orcs because there were no black people in Middle Earth. So we had to go with orcs, that were fighting and coming to reclaim their land. And they were led by the evil Professor Mike Latoris, who has a pompadour in his mask. But I was such a badass that I defeated them all and became king with the help of none other than Shitty Gandalf. And Middle Earth was saved.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Powers of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So, you're welcome.
I like how I knew my role because I was like, precious. That's hilarious.
I debated with Bill and I had a conversation. It went like this. Okay, well, after all the other decisions that we made, because this started out a lot. We started out to be more complex but shittier. We knew it was going to be shitty, and then we went, okay, this is dumb, so let's go as dumb as we can, and then we did that. And I was like, okay, do you want to misspell Juliet's name, like on purpose?
No.
She hates that, and so we thought about it. And I actually wrote 2 stickers out and sat them on the table and debated it for a minute. So,
all right, there it is.
That's very good.
Wait, let me see it.
That was.
So
it's very. You gotta put it. You gotta block it up against.
Put it in front of your face.
This was the fear of a paper puppet show.
Wait, where's the other T and the E?
That's the point. It was
no. That's the.
Oh, you weren't supposed to choose the wrong one.
He's fucking with you. Because I used the wrong one to reinforce the one I made for Doc, because that one isn't as big as the sticker.
Yours is all right. Yours is gone.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah, yours is gone.
I was just looking at the name.
I did spell it correctly. So there
Thank
you go.
you.
And the whole punchline on that was for Stan, we used an orc because they didn't have black people in Middle Earth.
I fucking love that.
So bad.
One black character in the entire show. There's not one.
There's not one.
Fighting back for their land.
That's pretty fucking funny.
And all I asked for were sock puppets. I would have accepted Bill sticking his socks on his hands and talking to each other, but
No. We printed things out on a black and white printer, and then took stickers and wrote our names on it.
The best.
I sent him all kinds of links from Amazon for googly eyes and little body parts you could glue on.
No.
I had high hopes for this bit.
I want I want just the puppet show itself as its own clip put on TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I don't know if you guys hear my fridge, but I think
I hear something.
Oh God, I can't deal with that. But I think Bill delivered in a big way. I think that was probably the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard out of Bill's mouth.
Definitely.
So, well done, Bill.
Very pleased.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just all you gotta do is give him the opportunity to shit on me, and he will
Succeed.
He will deliver
exponentially.
I've noticed that it can't be like a setup bit. As I can't go into him and say, okay, Bill, you're gonna shit on me. This is what we're gonna do. He won't deliver. But if somebody else goes, hey, let's shit on Matty, he's in. You know what I mean? Because I also, before I started this podcast, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. and the YouTube channel was good. I wanted to try and call it "Fucking with Bill" while he's taking a shit, but you couldn't call it with that.
Just wouldn't let you use that as a title.
Right? They don't let you say that in the title of the name of your YouTube. But I would just every time he went in and took to the bathroom, I would just film myself going in, shutting the light off, or just walking. Like if I'm just walking out, I'd shut the light off, close the door, and I would throw trash cans in there and then close the door, because then you gotta, you know, it's one thing to like know where you're going in the dark. It's a whole nother when there's obstacles in your way, you know. But
I was out having a beer with a friend one night, and we bumped into a guy he used to work with, who immediately started telling stories about how when my buddy managed the muffler shop that they worked in, if he went into the bathroom, the mechanics would all run and like they'd take brake clean, which is a highly flammable substance, and they'd spray it around the steel door frame and set it on fire and start screaming, "Ah, Jim, it's on fire! It's on fire! We got to get out!" Just to mess with him.
Wow.
I had a boss. He didn't do it to me, but he did it to a coworker, and the rest of us watched and laughed. But he owned the building. He didn't give a shit. And one of the office workers was in the office bathroom, and he lit a whole pile of firecrackers, the whole buck, and slid it under the fucking door. While this dude was taking his shit. And the whole thing this is the best part, because this dude had nerves of steel, and he was just that guy. He was from, I don't want to insult him, but he was from somewhere in the former Soviet Union. I don't remember which, and if you say the wrong one, it's an insult. But he had nerves of steel. So after this whole thing goes off, he's in there taking a dump. The whole book of firecrackers goes off. He goes, "Is that it?"
Damn.
Best line I ever heard. I was like, that's him.
When you said nerves of steel, I immediately thought Russia.
Well, yeah, but it's not Russia, and I don't remember if it's
one of those Eastern Bloc.
I know.
It's one of the annexed. I don't necessarily know if they're at war with Russia right now, but they might be at war with the people that are at war with Russia right now. So it's very difficult, to like know whose side people, what's going on with everything. And I ain't gonna get involved with it. Yeah. But there was rumor, and it was confirmed by him and other people, that he could perform self-fellatio. And I didn't give out any names, so it doesn't matter. There you go.
Fantastic.
Okay. Same dude. That's a guy. That's a man. That man's man. You know what I mean? He could take a Bob Bartman, and he can suck his own dick in a pinch.
If I could self-soothe like that,
he does, right? He was probably in there. Oh fuck. No, but
calm right down.
But I mean that
you bastards! I almost bite head off.
Like what did you guys fucking do? But he was awesome. He's awesome dude, because he kind of looked like Jason Statham, except he had hair, and he didn't have a Russian accent, but he spoke very deliberately. Like his words were deliberate, but he didn't have much of an accent. Mm-hmm. But he was, he wasn't first generation. He was from, he came over as a baby, but he was a fucking awesome dude. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, pranks.
Yep.
Oh God.
So Bill, I gave you the block, buddy. Anything else you want to say before?
Anything else you want to talk about there, Bill?
I mean, I just want to say happy, 100th.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
104 will also be special, but
there's something about 100, yeah.
There's something about 100. It's a whole century. It's big number.
It's not a whole century. It's 2 years. It's almost 2 years.
3 digits. This show is not done.
That's right.
So
3 digits.
3.
It's a big number. So
Nice one, Mike.
I'm hoping by episode 204 we might have 10 viewers. 104 we might have 10 viewers, and maybe by 200 we might crack 50. So
you never know.
Ryan.
Just to look forward.
I think if we can table the conversations about dog shit and maybe like, you know,
Find somebody to help us wrangle the squirrels.
yeah, because it is. I mean, the show's kind of like herding cats. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever tried to like, herd cats. It's kind of impossible.
I had a dog that was really good at it.
Yeah,
he was a German Shepherd. Like he'd get them all in the corner, and like they'd humor him for a minute, but then as soon as he started to look proud, they'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm out of here," and they just walk past him.
I used to say that getting my family together when I had the kids at home and everything, and getting my family together to go somewhere was like herding chickens, and I used to say that, and my brother, who's ashamed that he's my brother or that I'm his brother, I went over his house one day for Thanksgiving, and he has chickens, and he can herd them. Not only did he herd them, he trained them.
Oh,
he brings a stepladder out, and he puts he puts the stepladder down, and he keeps the kernels of corn, and he taps on the top of the stepladder, and then he puts a piece of kernel down, and the one chicken comes up, and the chicken takes the kernel, jumps down, and then there's a chicken behind him. They're all in line, and the chicken, and he goes, the chicken waits, and he goes. And the chicken pops up. He gives him the kernel of corn. And the chicken pops down. Then the next chicken's waiting. Like, it's not like the next chicken's waiting until he tells him it's okay. And then,
right,
because the one chicken has jumped up one too many times and he smacked it down. So I realized that normal people could herd chickens. So then I switched it to cats.
Okay.
Cats
I was going to say it sounds like the point of this story is your brother just had to be better.
Well, I mean, my brother, he obviously.
He's like, let me show you what it's like to be a real person, Matt.
By any measurement, yeah, I'm not. Right, but herding cats is much more difficult.
That's hard, yeah.
That's a hard thing to do, and aggravating. So that's why I also heard it actually from Last Man Standing, Tim Allen. Great show. That show is funny as shit. Anyway, I heard that he used that term, and I was like, they stole that from me. Well, they stole it from me. Anyway.
Hot sitcom talk on the Media Virus podcast.
We're talking about Tim Allen not being on cocaine, being a conservative, getting fired. What? So where are we going now?
This is it. This was Bill's baby. I gave it to him.
So
yeah. Done.
So very good, Bill. Want to thank handsome Bill and very, very much for coming on. Bill's on a weight loss journey. He's doing really well. I don't know if anybody can really tell, but
what are you doing?
Everything.
Like what?
Like he's hitting the gym. He's kind of given up on drinking. He's been really watching his diet. He's been trying to control. He's stopped ordering out. He pretty much stopped going out for lunch. He brings his lunch. He controls his meals. He controls his appetite, and he's been looking really. He's been working out. He's been showing me pictures. Bill's been thinking about doing a couple podcasts, and I've been trying to talk him into doing it. But one of the things he wants to, kind of just talk about his fitness journey, and just kind of being an amateur. Everybody, his kind of thing was like everybody, every fitness guru has a channel. Like, what about somebody who's just, starting out? And that's where Billy is.
Well, I want to pitch an idea to him because I just, since you're on this weight loss journey, we don't have to chronicle your real journey.
I don't even know if it's a weight loss. It's more of a fitness journey, I think.
But we can chronicle you becoming healthier and more svelte in a series of videos. And instead of CrossFit with Bill, it could be crap fit with Bill, and we'll tell everybody that all you're doing is taking better shits, and that's how you get that.
Works my fiber intake right now.
Oh my god! I just did a reading talking about more fiber too. Huh? That's funny.
He's been drinking Metamucil at work.
That doesn't sound too good.
Well, that's not a good idea.
Youngest guy on the screen, probably the only one of us drinking Metamucil on a regular basis.
That's a quick way to fuck up everything. So
Just
old people do
stop doing
that
it.
in the spring. Old people do that in the spring, and they refer to it as spring cleaning. So
Oh, God.
in
Well, no,
emergency rooms,
you've been doing well, haven't you, Billy?
Oh yeah, it's been working wonders.
Well, what are
yes,
you
it
doing
works
exactly? Are you
until you
following like a
stop.
certain? Are you following like a certain diet, a workout regimen? Like, what exactly are you doing?
Well, we go to the gym every day, and then we eat anything but junk food.
And he's done. Listen, just the work I've watched him do on his health journey is really commendable. It really is, especially for how kind of sloppy and bad his habits were. You know what I mean? And him tightening up. And I've been making the joke, and this is another fucking podcast I've been trying to convince him to do, or like a persona for him is the childless father or the childless dad, because he's just a dad without kids. And he bought two. How many pounds of steak did you buy?
Is he good with kids?
I don't think so.
Are you talking about the steak that I
As
brought?
long as he's 30 feet away at all times, he's great.
I brought in 3 pounds of steak.
He brought in 3 pounds of steak for us to eat sandwiches. He
What?
hit me up. He hit me up and said, bring the rolls. But what he did is he cooked all the steak and put it into a container, and then we're gonna go eat the first time. And he takes the whole container, puts it in the microwave, and puts it in the microwave for like a minute or like 2 minutes or whatever, and then pulls it out. And he's like, and I'm like, dude, you can't keep reheating. And he's like, dude, only the top's gonna be hot. And I'm like, that's actually fucking genius. I don't know. I can't even argue with the logic. He was absolutely right. The top was hot, and then when you got down, it was cold. So, like, by the time he was done making his sandwich, I had to put it back in the microwave, cook another top layer, take that. Insane, because he already had the cheese on it and everything. It's fucking. Anyway, but he just put him in a pair of New Balances and.
He's a misunderstood genius, is what you're telling me.
Yes. No, he is a genius. Absolutely.
He's a Sagittarius to the max.
Are you a Sagittarius, Bill?
I
Yes,
am.
he is.
Huh. That's amazing, because I usually.
That's why he's such a clown, but he has deep knowledge.
All right. Well, there you go. No, Bill, dude. I mean, Bill. I make a lot of fun of Bill, but Bill's working hard. Bill's doing good.
He's like, he's stressing out.
Well, it's stressing me out to fucking say nice things about Bill, so I'm hoping he's stressed out too.
He looks uncomfortable when you say nice stuff about him.
I know he doesn't like it. He doesn't. He's waiting for the. What's up?
He's not used to you being nice to him.
Waiting for the compliment,
No, yeah, he's waiting for the right to come. The left-handed compliment to come right out of left field. But Bill's been working real hard and good on him. And Juliet has a new video just out. What was it?
2
new videos out this week.
What's up with the planets and her tarot of the week?
Right.
The October forecast for the entire month.
The whole damn thing.
Yep. October 1st to the 31st. And then I have Tarot of the Week, which is just a weekly tarot reading, breaking down intuitive messages that I get that's going to affect everyone as a whole.
If you see Big Daddy around town, give him some pumpkin spice. He'll review it.
Or have sex with him because he does just the tips.
Too.
Exactly.
I'll review that too.
Special thanks to the Mind Shifter.
Yeah, shout out to Mind Shifter. You can. He's got a YouTube channel, right? Mind Shifter.
He does. You can book the Mind Shifter at I believe it's marshallmanlove.com to find all of his fantastic information. And special thanks to Pete. Pete, if you see Pete, just say hi. Because I'm not sure what Pete's got going on right now, so I'm not.
Right now, Pete's healing, man.
Pete's recovering.
Pete's working hard to, Pete's doing great
Pete
too.
Is in recovery. I mean, recovering.
All right. Well,
I think that's what I said too. Actually, I said in recovery, and I was like, wait.
well, I mean, it's kind of the same, you know.
Well, I mean,
Recovery.
yes and no. 'Cause when you get in recovery, it's like
he had an amazingly complex surgery, but
Yeah,
I think
which had me give up nicotine and alcohol all at the same time.
Yikes.
So Pete's having a rough day. Make sure you wave and say hi. If
And
you
next week we talk to R&B recording artist Kelly Love.
That's right.
Getting ready to go to the Jazz Fest down in Rehoboth. She's taking some time out of her schedule. We'll interview her, and you'll get to hear about the cool shit that she has done, hear about her amazing story.
Fantastic. And if you want to get one of my voices on one of your projects, you can dial me up at 302-46-VOICE. That's 302-46-VOICE. And I'll be happy to say something for you if you'll be happy to pay something for me. And hey, you like that?
Yeah.
And if you want to talk to us here on the show, you can dial up 1-646-VIRUS-01. That's 1-646-VIRUS-01 on behalf of the Mind Shifter, Big Daddy, Scorpion Goddess, Juliet Everett, Pete, and our fearless leader, Matty Rockdeff. I'm Professor Mike Latoris, coming from to you live here at the top of Uncle Butch Studios. We'll be back next week with episode 101.
that looks like it'll fit my ass. That looks like the size of a huge dick. Let me shove that in my ass.
And we're clear.
Oh my god.
Cool.
What the fuck?
I don't know if you listened to the audio, but I did clip that out last week and replace it.